running big white down the center. Tell them I got no wire on this side, okay? Yep. Good. Just like that. Good. Right there. Right there. Hold on just a second, Mike. Let's pull this rod. I don't want him getting that wire. Snap that up. Okay. Okay, here we go. Got a line on that fish coming in the center. We're going to keep him out of the wire, Mike. Yep. Another charter boat coming by there with wire on the side. So there he is right there on top.
Made 2 or 3 tremendous runs here. Should be tiring him out.
Yeah, big white. New one, big white lighted. This one is UV and silver on one side and glow and chartreuse on the other side. Of course, this one I think we got locked up with either a Hulk fly or a glow reaper fly.
Hey, Bill, you got one coming up.
All right, don't worry about him. That's ours. Kurt, have a look at me. Kurt, give me black to the middle. Give me neutral. Perfect, just like that. You're going to get line on him now because you're in neutral. Black forward. Good job, buddy. Raising that nice and easy, and then winding down. Black to the middle, give me neutral.
Perfect job, bro. Let's keep that up right here.
You can tell Jimmy was getting serious. He had his tongue out. Come to the left, Kurt, just a little. Good. There you go. That's it. Keep pulling to the left, wind down and pull to the left. That's it. Wheel to the left, Kurt. A little more. That's good. Keep coming to the left, Kurt. Okay. If Mike tells you to hand him that rod, you put it right in his hand. Wind down again. All right, here comes that. I got line on this fish. Okay, wind down again. Wheel to the left, Kurt. That's all right. That's Dave. He'll stay out of your way. It's a number 5 boat. He sees what we've got going on.
When staging king salmon move into the trench off Henderson, they move in waves. Consequently, there will be different groups of fish in different areas. Peak activities don't occur at the same time. So while we're working this fish, the rest of the Saiff fleet understands that there's a hot bite on. So they're converging on our location as we battle this salmon.
Yep. Raise him, Jimmy. Easy. Wind down.
Wind down to him.
Hold right there. Neutral. Raise his head, Jimmy. Raise his head. Back up, Jimmy. Back up, back up. Okay, good job, buddy. All right, that's a huge male. Huge male. Okay, step all the way into the cabin. Mike's going to get this guy out. Forward, Kurt. Forward. All right, let's get this guy in. Absolutely. Leave him right there. That's the way it's supposed to look right there. There it is. The hot one down the chute today. Holy smokes. Dick Poole, thank you so much at ProTroll. Keeping us hooked up in the Saiff Charter fleet. Just dynamic, a tremendous king. That's the way it's supposed to work. What do you think, brother?
Wow.
Is that good or what?
Yeah,
that's
the
cool.
best.
Good job on the rod,
Wow.
buddy boy.
Let's take a look at the flies, some of the flies that we're using in today's program. We're absolutely annihilating the kings in the trench off Henderson Harbor, and we're pulling a variety of different ProTroll lighted, unlighted flashers. But the key is we're fishing BSO flies behind those, everyone in the fleet. There are all the fly patterns, which are very basic, are going to produce fish for you. But the 4 that I think are critical, especially during the staging period on kings, are as follows. Let's just open up the fly kit here, and we'll take a look at the first one, which is, it's a gem. There's no 2 ways about it. That particular bait, when we invert it and you look at the bullet head, that's the way it's going to pulse in the water. That one is referred to as the Hulk. It's a basic green pattern fly, but this thing works like a charm. I mean, if you've got anything that you can dovetail a green fly behind, the Hulk is going to catch kings on that from the beginning of the season till the end. It's a standby during the staging period, so that's one of the reasons that we've got that loaded in the pattern today. In addition to that, I think that you know, you can see it loaded here. Example of a Hulk fly rigged behind, again, basic green, chartreuse, and silver. Those color combinations are going to work well together, so consequently it's going to be attractive to kings. One of the ones that I think is an absolute necessity, and it is one of my favorites, is what we refer to as the moon eye. If you flip that baby over, you can see the black and the green and the silver. We designed that fly because it's closest to what we think are natural color patterns of bait fish in Lake Ontario. So here's a fly that's going to work great during the staging period, but it's going to work great all year long. Here's a typical setup that I grabbed right out of the bucket. There's a moon eye fly loaded on. Anybody who's watched Bill Saiff Outdoors videos know that the meat market, especially that UV meat market right there, is a go-to flasher in our pattern. That's something that we run all the time. That's why it's set up and ready to fish, just like it is. And there it is with the moon eye on it. So that's exactly the way we were fishing it during the staging period at the end of the season. This one was new last year. This one right here we refer to as the Glow Reaper. You've got green, you've got glow, which you can charge up phosphorescent mylar in there, and more importantly, you've got chartreuse as well. That's a very dynamic fly, and under low light conditions, when those fish are staging, we're gonna run that. Here is Black Eyed Peas on green. This was a dynamic flasher for us, and we've got this tournament rigged. And if we pop that off, you're gonna see how beat up. Look at how demolished that Glow Reaper fly is. In fact, the kings have literally chewed the bulk of the chartreuse right out of that fly. That fly has probably caught 15 kings. You can see it's just smoke, but the more they hit it, the more we caught fish on that fly, so we just let it ride in the pattern. But again, there's an exact representation that's coming right off the boat and being shown to you in the video right here firsthand. The last fly that's not rigged on a flasher right here that I want to show you, and this is critical, my buddy B. Swartz, the beer man, this is his favorite fly. If you look at it, it's almost jet black when it's in this position, but when you invert it, it's predominantly chartreuse with a black underlay. That's what we refer to as the Chiquita. This thing matches up against so many great flashers. I mean, here is a perfect example of a glow chartreuse, and the Pro Troll E-chip lineup's got glow on this side, lead back on the other. Look at that. Chiquita matches with that perfectly. How many kings have we killed over the years on the E-chip Fat Nancy flasher? Look at the chartreuse alongside that green ladderback, just exactly the same color as what we've recreated in that Chiquita fly. Another perfect example of what's going to work well. And here is a big 11-inch flasher that we're actually taking a lot of kings with in today's video. Chartreuse one side, glow on the other. On the back side, it's UV and it's silver scale. But with that chartreuse, you can see how that Chiquita matches up well against that flasher too. So a lot of different options there for those 4 particular flies. Our other flies are dynamic and they work fantastic, but those are the 4 flies that we're using during this staging period, and they're the ones that I think that you should key on most. New flies coming out all the time in the BSO lineup. We've got one coming out also that we're going to name after the old man. It's coming to a theater near you. It's called the B2. Wait till that one hits the market. You're going to love that. That's a look at those flies. Let's get back to the action because the boys are locked up tight on some really big. Okay, we're down to 250 on that wire. I'm coming to you here from the front of the boat. I've taken over for Marlin here. We've got 2 of the 3 kings in this triple in, and Jimmy is rolling on it right now. So what he's doing is he's actually raising the rod, and I'm in neutral, and as he winds down, I put the boat in gear. So I'm actually trying to give him some reprieve here by actually fighting this fish a little bit with the boat in order for him to get line back. This fish went out over 580 on the strike on the wire. I'm quite sure that it's a massive king. We're into a big pile of big males here today, and I'm sure that that's what we're into, and that's what we've got on. He's taken us out over 6 or 7 lines. Mike just gave me the sign that he's at 200. Here's what I'm talking about.
You can see him raising right there. And now I'm in gear as he's coming down. That helps keep pressure on the fish. Then as he raises, I'm out of gear with the boat. And then I'm putting it in gear as he comes down with the fish in this situation. He's doing a great job. And the key to this deal when you're fighting them on big dipsy divers like this on the wire, when that fish wants to go, you just bow to him, let that rod act as the shock absorber that it is, and let them peel that out. We want them to burn off all their extraneous energy out there at 200, 300, 400 feet, 150. We want to burn the edge off those fish out on the surface so that when they come into the back of the boat, they're not what we refer to as green. We don't want fish in the wire and at the back of the boat that are green. Of course, you can see here, we've got nothing else in the wire. There's the big white that hit. There's the little white meat rig that hit right there, the black-eyed peas with green. And of course, this one's on a spin dock. This is on a spinny at 295. White with green dots is the makeup on this one right here. So we're going to get this thing ready to go. Kurt, I'm going to have you take the wheel, if you would, sir. Yep. And I'm going to have Marlin film this thing again. All right, perfect. What he's doing, he's keeping a nice high rod right here, forward, and he's keeping good pressure under that. One thing you want to make sure you don't do is drop that rod fast and not keep the pressure as you go down. That slacks that line, and especially with wire, we want to make sure that we're keeping him tight all the time. Important to run a little bit of a light drag on the wire because there's no stretch in it. If you're too tight and he moves away, you're going to bend a hook or you're just going to break lines. So he's doing a masterful job of handling this. Kurt, just a little bit to the right now.
I'm at 50 feet here, Bill.
We're at 50? Yep. All right, so what's going to happen here is that dipsy diver comes out of the water. I'm going to hand line, Mike's going to net. All right, so we got a long-handled net. So what Jimmy's going to do right here is he's going to crank this thing until we're about 4 to 6 inches from the tip of the rod. Then he's going to back up, and I'm going to get that leader in my hand, and I'm going to bring that fish right in. If that fish starts to go, I'm going to release it quickly, and Jimmy's going to run right back to the transom. We're going to get right in position to kill that fish again. So as you start to back up on this, I'm going to take the line, okay? If I tell you come to me, you run right back to me, and if I ask you for that rod, you put it right in my hands. Neutral right here, Kurt. You're okay. Easy. Easy. Nice and slow. Right there. Wind down. All right, stop winding. Raise slowly. There he is. I got.
See the flasher.
Yeah, see the flasher. Wind down. Forward. Keep it right in gear. It's going to be a massive king right here, guys. Wind down. A little bit to the right, Kurt. A little bit to the right. Fish is right here, Kurt. Come to the right. Come to the right.
Listen to Bill now when he tells you.
Neutral.
Throw down through one more time.
Kurt just turned the boat to the right there, and what that does is it put the fish right back out the transom for us. There he is, a big sub. Wind down again. Wind down again. Okay, raise your rod tip back up for me. Back up, lower your rod. I'm going to grab this guy. Easy, 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 easy. Okay, ready? Yep. Keep your rod tip high. Rod tip high. All right, and kill him. Get him in. Oh my goodness, is that ever a monster shark? Come over here, Marlin. Look at this. Right over the top. Look at that guy right there. What a monster shark this is. Okay, back up, Marlin. Ready to go? Let's get him in, buddy. That's how you do it. That's oh my goodness. That's how you do it. Marlin, the extraordinary cameraman. Good job, Marlin. Look at this right here. The single missed him. Piped out. This is I'm just going to tell it to you the way this is, folks. That king right there is a badass dude. Anyway, you cut the mustard. He is deep in there. We missed him with a single hook, but here it is again. You know, everybody wants to run green, green, green. There's the moon eye right there. A lot of black and green and silver in that natural bait. Just an absolutely tremendous example of a giant king. I got to tell you something. You know what I noticed? The blood's run right out of your face.
It's in my arms.
Good job, buddy boy. Well done with the rod. That was perfect.